Hello, students. This is Mr. Mathis, and today I want to talk about learning. Um, we're not going to do chemistry this week. We are, in the sense that you're going to look at old assignments and review and do that sort of stuff. But this week I want to talk to you about how to learn from a video. Um, right now I'm taking a computer programming class online, and all of the lectures, everything that he does, is all on video. I never get to talk to the professor, and I have to just kind of work through it on my own. And that's kind of how you are right now. Although I do have office hours every day for 2 hours to 3 hours usually, um, but nobody shows up except for a few of you. Uh, anyway, having this experience made me realize that for some of you, learning from a video is really, really difficult. And what I want to do today is spend a few minutes talking about how I learn from videos, and how I think what you can do to help yourself a little bit and be better. Now, it's somewhat ironic that I'm teaching you in a video how to learn from a video, because if you don't know how to learn from a video, how are you going to learn how to learn from a video? But it's getting into like an inception sort of thing, so I'm just going to let that go. Okay, so first steps. When you're going to try to learn something from a video, it has to be something that you have a little bit of knowledge about. Because if you have no background knowledge, it's going to be almost impossible to learn from a video. Luckily, we're doing chemistry stuff. So you've been doing chemistry stuff for 9 months almost, and you have a background that allows you to learn this. If you went and tried to watch a video about cosmology, or the study of space, you might be unable to learn something because you don't have enough background knowledge to do it. This, however, where we are now, you've got enough knowledge. You can do it. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to do here, I'm going to put a little mark. Step one. Okay. Review what you know about the subject. Okay. So this is chemistry. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at the solution stoichiometry. Okay. What a solution is. It's a mixture with water and some sort of element or molecule, most likely a molecule or a compound. Okay, you know that it has to do with moles and decimeters cubed. You know that stoichiometry means converting from units from one unit to another, and generally it has a chemical formula, and you have or chemical equation that is balanced. So you know all these things as your prior knowledge. So there's your first step. Review what you know. Second step, if, for example, like I have right here, you have a worksheet or something you can write notes on, get something to write notes on. So step two, get something to write notes on. So for ours, we have the class practice that we're going to use, and Mr. Kraus or I supply this whenever we're doing a video lesson. So that's a resource that you have and that you should have out as you're going through the video. Okay. Step three, and this, you're going to hate this one. Actually, you're going to hate the next two steps. Step three, watch the video once without doing anything except paying attention. Okay, you watch the video the first time without doing anything other than paying attention. Okay, there's a reason for this. What you're going to do is you're going to watch the video and it's going to explain everything, but that's too much for you at first. So the first time that you watch it, you're just watching it and trying to pay attention to what's happening. Okay, so for example, let's say we play this video.
Coming at you.
Hey, that's me.
Teach you some new stuff.
Okay.
Today
I'm going to mute myself, but watch the video. Now, one thing I want you to do: don't watch the video at 1 time speed. Watch the video at 1.5. You can usually let's listen to me at 1.5. We're gonna put those two things together, do some problems, and then next week we'll have a test on all this, full-on assessment. It'll be super enjoyable for everybody. Now, is that too fast? Probably not. You can probably understand that. Some of you might be a little bit too fast, but for most of you, you could do it at 1.5 speed. A lot of times when I'm watching them, my professor, my computer science professor, he was really slow, so I watched it at 2 times speed. Okay, so this is our class practice. We'll work on this together. We have an equation here. We've got sodium hydroxide plus calcium nitrate is going to make calcium hydroxide, which you notice is a solid, and sodium nitrate. So we have two aqueous solutions. Okay, so some of you, too fast. But for most of you, you can probably do something in the order of 1.25, 1.5, all the way up to 2. Okay, so you watch the video the whole time. If you're watching it at faster speed, it's not going to take all 14 minutes. It's going to take a little bit less than that, like 12 minutes to 7 minutes if you're watching it at 2 times speed. Okay, next, try to do the problems without looking back at the video. Okay, so the fourth step is you try to do the problems that I gave you without looking at the video. Like, I've already showed them once, but try to imitate the steps that your teacher, if it's my video or Mr. Krause's video, or if you're doing something for another subject, try to do what they did on the video without referring back to it. Just after the first time that you watched it, see how much you remember and just try to do the steps as best you can from the video. Okay. The final step, step 5, is once you get stuck, go back to that point in the video. And rewatch from there. Okay, so if you're doing a problem and you get like 2/3 of the way through it, and then you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I know this step, go to the video, go to that point, because up till that point, you are good. You're set. So go to that point and then watch it to whatever complete bit of knowledge that you need in order to successfully finish the problem. So let's review our steps here. Step 1, review what you know about the subject. Read or just try to remember everything you can that is related to the subject that you're watching. Okay. Step 2, get something to write notes on. Okay, you need something to write notes on eventually, but have it there in case in case you have to write things down. Okay. Step 3, watch the video once without doing anything except paying attention. Okay, you don't have to take notes. You don't have to do anything. Just do your best to watch the video without any sort of distraction. And as I said, you can speed it up. Okay, most of us talk slower than people can understand, right? You don't talk at the speed that your brain can process something. You talk a little bit slower than that. So when somebody's talking like this and trying to explain things, you can listen to it at a much faster speed than what you're starting with. Okay. All right. Step 4, try to do the problems without looking back at the video. So you're going to take and look at the video, or excuse me, you're going to take and look at your notes, the sheet that you're doing the problems on. You're going to try to do those problems without any help from the video, and you're going to go as far as you possibly can. Once you get to that point at which you can no longer remember how to do it, then you go back to that point in the video and you rewatch it from there. And then if you go to another problem, you do the same thing. You just repeat. You repeat this until you understand. I guess until you can mimic it. Okay, because at some point you're going to understand. But at first, you're just going to copy. When you were a baby, you didn't understand words, right? You didn't understand what your mom was saying, but she said to you, "Ma, ma, 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 ma," over and over and over again, or "Mama, mama," something like that. You didn't know what it meant. You just said and made those noises with your mouth. But over time, as you got older and you started to understand, then you knew that mama meant your mother, okay? Or dada meant your father. You didn't know that at first, and that's okay, because by doing it over and over and over again, by repeating something over and over and over again, you learn it, okay? Education is repetition. I had a Spanish teacher who told me that, and then he would make us repeat our Spanish vocabulary words over and over and over and over again. So, but this is kind of how you have to learn if you're learning from a video. You've got to take it in steps. You don't have somebody there to hold your hand or to answer your questions, so you have to try to make it so that you can answer your own questions. Okay, I hope this video helps you. Um, you know, another thing to do, Mr. Kraus and I have been saying, is come to our office hours. Okay, we'll set you up and we will go through every problem with you. Okay, we have no trouble doing that. So just please, if you're still stuck after not after trying these methods, then you've got to go to your teacher and you've got to say, "I need help. How can you help me?" And we'll say, "Oh, I would love to help you because I've been sitting here bored for the last 2 hours because nobody's showed up to my office hours." All right. Have a great week. This is just going to be a review week. So you just keep doing what you've been doing. For those of you who are already done, consider it the start of your Memorial Day vacation, apparently. Next week, we'll learn something new. And then the following week, we'll have our finals. Okay.